All right, recording nonsense. 5 seconds in.
Thank you for joining the Escape With Me Bookclub. Escape with me, Sam Reiner.
And me, Tim Bergman.
Into our most recent read. Come with us as we evade reality and go into detail about a new book. We'll be covering the book from beginning to end, so there will be spoilers. Today we are going to fictional county Mooseville, North Midwest, United States. I'm still betting on the fact that it's Minnesota, but
It's got lakes. It's a good bet.
Published June 1st, 1987. He's an old man.
Yeah.
The Cat Who Played Brahms is the fifth book in the Cat Who series and a massive divergence in style. After her semi-mysterious, someone actually updated her Wikipedia so we have information, huzzah, we'll get to it, 18-year break, Lilian Jackson Braun returned with Quillerin on his newspaper beat. But now, after one book, he is traveling north to the Canadian border. Determined to get some time away from the city, Quill takes his sorta aunt's offer to spend the summer in her lakeside cabin so he can write a book. But before he can get any writing done, dead bodies start appearing left and right. Can Quill solve this new mystery? Or will the county's "we protect our own" attitude let a killer get away with murder? So I've read this book before, but it was a long time ago, aka before 2020. So that's at least 6 years, probably more. So I remembered some of this, but not all of it. And I was having a hard time remembering, is it this book? Is it another book? Is my brain just making this up? But I love this series. I learned about this series growing up, and then I started reading it as an adult, obsessed. It was the first episode for the podcast because I love this series. I don't remember how, but somehow I convinced you to read 5 of these books in a row to do this episode.
Yep.
Because you have never even heard of this series before.
Nope. I had not heard of this series. I don't think I've actually read a mystery book since the Hardy Boys.
Good night. Welcome. We'll change that, obviously.
Yeah, aside from like H.P. Lovecraft, but I don't think there's a lot of...
There's not so much mystery as it is horror.
Yeah. And this is the opposite of horror. I mean, there's kind of like horrible moments.
It's cozy.
Yeah.
It's cozy mystery, which took you some getting used to. So, congratulations. Welcome. Hello. You have definitely proven yourself in the gauntlet here.
I liked them. It's definitely a new genre for me, and I really enjoyed how the books go into Quill's little side jobs for the newspaper, bring up a new topic every time.
Yes.
You get a little bit invested in all of these weird little hobbies he's having to write for.
Yeah, it's a good time. I really like the structure. But about this author, so you don't know anything about her. I knew very little. Last time we recorded an episode, her Wikipedia had nothing on it. But since then, it's been super updated, which is awesome. So this woman was born in Massachusetts, but raised in Michigan.
That explains a bit.
And she ended up retiring in South Carolina. But she worked in advertising at Detroit News. So the original trilogy was written in the 60s when she was working in advertising at Detroit News. So that's how she knew about the newspaper beat and all of that stuff. But she wrote those 3 books and then she went on hiatus for 18 years. And it wasn't until she ended up retiring and marrying her second husband that she picked the series back up. And then she wrote The Cat Who Saw Red, and then she and her husband moved from Michigan to South Carolina where she retired. But I find it kind of interesting because they're pretty sure she modeled Pickaxe off of Bad Axe, Michigan, which was where she was living until the mid-80s. And so I very much wonder if the reason she completely changes the formula here is because she moved away from Bad Axe. She moved to Bad Axe after Detroit, starts writing. She has all these newspaper books, and then as soon as she moves away from Bad Axe, she's like, you know what would be great? The middle of nowhere.
Yeah, the formula kind of tripped me up a bit because the books go him and all of his writing assignments. So he's going from doing the art beat to doing interior design, to learning how to do thrifting and antiquing, and then food, and then living in a town of less than 50.
Yeah, and all those characters you've grown to know and love, they're gone.
Yeah, poor Odd Bunsen.
I love him so much. Yes, I do love Odd Bunsen.
He's great. Him and his 5 to 6 kids.
Possibly 7.
He's prolific.
But really cool lady. So she ends up writing until she falls ill. The last book was never finished, which she always regretted because she was like, oh no, my audience really wants it. And so it's a little bit sad, but she fell ill. She wasn't able to write. And then several years later, she passed away. But really cool lady, I think.
How many books are in the series?
Oh, let's see.
22 or something, right?
It's a lot. And I have not read them all. I own them all now, which took years to do. It's gotten taken off Audible. I can't with these people. It's such a good series.
Yeah, I did wonder if there were audiobooks and if they would have the authentic accents.
There are audiobooks. They made audiobooks. They exist. Audible just doesn't have them. 29. There are 29 books, and she was working on a 30th when she passed.
Dang. Even you haven't read them all.
I have not. I did not own them all, and then I have tried to just read it by myself, and then I'll marathon them, and then I'll hit a point, and I'm like, I can't do this anymore. But this is an adult book only because that's the default. Honestly, most anyone can read it as long as they can handle the concept of murder. Because all we really has is there's some language, kind of mild. There is murder, mention of blood, mention of nudity, animal cruelty and death, and suicide in this book. But I'm a little curious to judge a book by its cover. For me, I have the omnibus that has 4, 5, and 6. So it has a bloody rolling pin, which is for the 4th one, and then 2 other weapons, and one of them is this book, and the other is the next book. So murder. Cats. Murder.
I can definitely judge by the cover of the book that you gave me.
Yeah, so you got the individual one that actually has the cover. But I'm just curious, what were your thoughts going into the first book with the cover?
I knew very little about it because I chose not to spoil myself on anything.
As you should.
And so when I was just going through it, I was just thinking, oh, there is a dagger on the cover and it's bloody and it's got paw prints. And so that kind of draws you in.
It is a good cover. I like them.
Yeah. Although if I remember right, the dagger has no prominence in the story whatsoever aside from being a red herring.
It is a red herring, yes.
Yeah, and so the whole cover is a lie.
Not the whole cover.
It has that magical, mystical dagger that was supposed to be theoretically stolen, and then at the very end of the book, they're just like, oh yeah, we were like taking it to the cleaners.
Someone was studying it and put it in a vault and then didn't return it because they went out of town.
Yeah, it just got lost like pocket change in the couch, whereas the cover makes it seem like it was the murder weapon.
It's very pretty.
It is very pretty.
So yeah, what did you think of this cover?
For The Cat Who Played Brahms, definitely a step down. So I'll describe it a little bit. It's got a purple background and then 2 JPEGs of a seagull and a bunch of flowers and the most basic font you could ever ask for with the author and the title.
Really? I have never seen, well, I mean, I bought this book for you, but I have never really thought about the 5th or the 6th cover before. So all of this is semi-new to me.
It's a boring cover.
I will say there are versions, so I might have just gotten you one of the boring versions, because there is a boring version that I have a personal crusade against. So I might have just bought you one of the boring ones. I apologize.
It's a gift, goodness gracious. Don't apologize for that.
But it could have been interesting. No, I'm kidding.
So I've learned from the past 4 books that usually whatever the title is referencing takes place around 2/3 into the book. And it does have a very large impact on whatever the plot tends to be.
Yeah.
And so going into it with the seagull and the flowers, I had no idea. The cover gives nothing away, which is good in a way.
What do seagulls have to do with anything?
Yeah, seagulls in a bouquet and cat paw prints with music in the background. The only thing I knew going in was at some point the cat's going to be on like a piano or something.
There you go. Yeah. Were you surprised by the twist that we're not in the city anymore?
I was. And I was really surprised at the very end, and we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. But yeah, this was what I had been hinting at in the last episode. I mentioned that there's a massive change in formula that continues, I'm assuming, for the rest of the series. I haven't read the rest of the series, but yeah, it's very surprising. But let's get into it.
Let's dive in.
The big change is instead of getting another newspaper beat, he's, like I said earlier, going to the middle of nowhere to write a book, which he writes none of.
Yeah.
Which is very funny because he begins the book telling Archricker, oh, I've started. It has a lot of intrigue and murder and sex and stuff. And then you come to find out he's written nothing.
Yeah, the entire point of him having a book is to give him a reason to tell people, please don't ask me about this book.
Yeah.
The entire reason he went out to the country.
The entire time is him coming up with all these reasons, like, oh, have you written today? It's like, I don't really like to talk about progress like that. Oh, of course.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't even like to talk about progress to the audience.
Because he doesn't. At no point during this book does he sit down and write a single word.
Yeah, I was kind of miffed at that by the end of the book when I realized, oh, that was a good book. What about his book?
That's literally like the first book, the first episode we did, where it was Cal Halape, Cal Halape, Cal Halape. And then we get to the end of the book and we're like, wait a second. He didn't write anything about Cal Halape. Oh, goodness.
Oh, just throw it in there.
Nah.
Got better stuff to do.
So, yeah, it picks up where the last book left off. Well, not immediately, but he's in this place. He's got to move. He's moving. Which, can we talk about how he subleased this place from this dude that moved to Florida who was going to send for his furniture when he found a place. And it's months later and Quill still has his furniture?
I didn't even think about that.
This dude has been living with no furniture, or at least living in a furnished place. Come to find out, he ends up just selling his furniture, which, fair enough, at this point, he's not wanting it back. So he ends up keeping the bear-skinned rug. I love that he continues to collect his little collection. I was sitting there waiting for the antique scale and the gate decoration. He ends up putting it in Arch's basement.
Yeah, the Macintosh. I really liked how right around the middle he reaches in his pocket and pulls out the little piece of jade and the piece of pottery scarab.
Yeah, I love the consistencies.
Yep, I do like when she calls back to the first part of the series.
There's not much setup there. He's going to the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, and the book starts out with him going to his favorite diner that's been completely cleaned, and he liked it dirty. And he's just like, man, I hate all of this. I'm leaving for the woods.
He's literally like, everything's changing too much, which makes sense because in the first book, he was offended by the sight of an electric pencil sharpener.
And how when he says that he was in a war, he's happy when people don't ask him which war.
Have you noticed, though, that there was a time jump? Because the first 3 books really obviously take place during the 60s, right?
Right.
But this book has cassette tapes, which did not become popular until the late 70s and 80s.
Huh. I kind of realized it was the 70s when they mentioned a plane hijacking. I think that was in the other book.
In the 4th book, they mentioned Robert Mouse's plane got hijacked.
Yeah.
Cassette tapes didn't even overtake vinyl records until 1983. But it's not the 90s yet. I mean, obviously she can't write in the future because the 90s is when CDs took over. So there's been a time jump to a minimum of 1983 because she has a cassette tape player, and that becomes really, really important for the book.
But somehow he's still 47 years old.
Does it say he's 47?
I thought that's what it said.
I don't know. He's got more white in his mustache than he did in the first book, that is for sure. But yeah, it's canonically been, since the first book, like 2 years. Because the first book, it was February, and then the second book was April, and then the next book was Christmas, and then the one after that was in sometime the next year, like I don't want to say spring. I'd have to sit down and actually think about it. And so this takes place a couple months after that book ends. So it hasn't been very much time canonically, but goes there, meets a bunch of new people. They all seem great and nice and happy and woo! And he has a pasty for the first time, which is very, very prevalent in the northern states, northern Midwest, Montana, Minnesota. So there is a bide for this could be Montana, but I still think it's Minnesota. Michigan does not have a Canadian border, although...
Michigan does. It physically touches Canada. Michigan does. It's like right around Detroit.
Oh, I see what you mean. That's tricky. Yeah, because it comes down into, yeah, and it touches there.
Yeah, on the glove, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, this is versus Michigan. Take all my Minnesota theories out the window, but you get my point. I'm sure someone from Michigan is highly offended.
Yeah, remember, folks, you don't know where we are, but we probably aren't from the Midwest.
Everything's chill and whatever. He's getting used to it. He keeps his girlfriend from the last book, who I really like, just as a person, Rosemary.
Yeah, she is a sweet figure, but I also was kind of wondering, like, how old is this woman?
She is up there because she has 2 grandchildren in college.
Yeah, so I'm thinking somewhere in her 60s, right?
Yeah, 60s or 70s, but she looks very young. When he originally saw her, he thought she was in her late 30s, and she is definitely up there. Here's the thing. I really like Rosemary. I think she's great and wonderful, and I love her. And I, separately, also really like Quill. I like him. I think he's intelligent and fun and all of these things. I don't like them together. And this book is a slow death. And it's awkward, and I hate it. I ended the book being like, I'm really glad they broke up because Rosemary deserved better.
He is kind of flirtatious.
Any pair of eyes, I swear. As long as they look young, and we're getting to the point where he is older, and I'm just like, Quill, please don't be the 50-year-old chasing around 20-year-olds. It's weird.
There's even this moment in the book where Quill's talking to himself, and he's like, yeah, you know, she's probably the best thing that ever happened to me, but I don't want to do it because young women make me feel young too.
Yeah.
Okay, guy.
He's literally started the book like, oh my goodness, I never thought I would ever get married ever again. And then like 2 days later, he's flirting with a young doctor. My man.
I don't want to give up smoking and eat
healthy food
for the rest of my life.
She's so good because he brings it up. He's like, hey, I don't like that you're controlling my eating. She's like, okay, fair enough. I'll back off. Fair enough. You eat whatever you want. Whatever you want to do, we'll do that. And that's why Rosemary comes out on top on this, because she is very, very emotionally mature and stuff. And so the only reason they end up breaking up is because she has a business opportunity. She had to choose between the two. But like I said, it's a slow death, and it kind of turns the book into a 4-star for me, because I'm like, Quill, you're not really stepping up, and then it's awkward, and he doesn't like that say witty things, and she won't get it, and that's awkward, and I get that.
It can be really hurtful when you're witty and the other person doesn't appreciate it.
It can, but it's just all of it. It was awkward. It was a slow death. None of the fun of the courting or anything. And so at first I was like, did they stay together? I don't remember, because at the beginning you're like, oh my gosh, they're a great pair. And then of course Coco doesn't like her, so you know it's not going to last. If you're a pet owner and your pet hates your significant other, it's just super contentious. So I'm just going to avoid. She has nothing to do with the main plot for most of it. I think she says a smart thing or she's there for something, but I'm mainly going to gloss over it. That's what makes this a 4-star for me. It's just awkward. It's like watching your friends break up, but it's been a long time coming. It's awkward for everyone involved. We're just going to ignore it and pretend like it didn't happen.
For me, I didn't think it was so awkward, but it did kind of have that bittersweet, slow death of a romance where they're both growing apart because they spend so much time together.
And all they spent together was like a week.
Yep.
This was not gonna last. This is, you're dating someone for a couple months, but then you go away on holiday and then find out your personalities are completely incompatible in any true life situation. It's awkward. Anyway, so his aunt is actually a close friend with his mom. So that kind of aunt, not by blood, but by personality, I guess, by choice. And so she's really, really wealthy, has this cabin. He goes out there. She's spunky. I like her a lot. She pops up a bunch, not so much with the mystery, but she just hears a bunch and she talks with him all the time. And then she has a handyman named Tom that basically does everything for her. Yard work, groceries, driving her places, going to manage her properties, anything.
Let's see if I can find the character. If anybody's ever seen the movie Sling Blade, which is a film set in Arkansas, that's what I kind of imagine Tom, the main character from Sling Blade, is kind of like that guy. That's how I picture him.
Yeah.
Just kind of not mentally slow, but has his own way about him.
Yeah.
But it's a good mental picture of a man.
Yeah.
And she was able to write him really well.
Yeah, Yeah, I think she does a pretty good job. They pop up from time to time, enough to be important characters, but not really part of the plot. Quill suspects Tom several different times of different things, and he does end up being part of the final solution. But I don't have too much to say about Tom. He comes and fixes things. Yay! He wants to run a nightclub in Vegas, which is very interesting for a dude that's never really been to Vegas. It's kind of lofty to be like, I want to own a nightclub in Vegas, the place I have never been.
Yeah, he can't read either. Let's just get that out of the way. He is functionally illiterate.
Yeah. So I don't know how he's going to do contracts or anything.
But those thoughts don't apply to dreamers.
That's true. So they're part of this. The most important thing here is he becomes friends with a police officer that lives nearby, a retired police officer, who is a pretty cool dude.
Quill becomes friends, not Tom.
He's a pretty cool dude. I like him. His name is Buck. Technically his name's Buford, but they call him Buck. And he is suspecting that something's going down in the county, because Quill keeps also suspecting that there's more crime than they admit. And he makes friends with a guy from the tourist bureau who definitely tries to spin everything. And so Quill is just really suspect of this little picturesque place where we have no crime, we swear.
You know, I really had a soft spot for the tourism bureau guy because he was also a historian.
Oh my gosh.
When he struck up a conversation about, oh yeah, you know, your last name and my last name, they fought on the same side of the English Civil War. You remember this battle that we fought for Bonnie Prince Charlie? It's like, yeah, dude, I would be right there, man.
That is your dream conversation.
That is my dream conversation.
That someone would know these random tidbits that you also know.
It's every historian's dream.
It's every nerd's dream, let's be honest.
Yep.
This is not just historians.
We all seek common interests. That's called bonding. It's very human.
We just want to be accepted and find our people.
My nightclub in Vegas is finding somebody to talk to.
Oh my gosh. It's also not. Like, how long would you actually want to have that conversation with a stranger?
Well, being an introvert, not long, but that's neither here nor there.
My nightclub in Vegas is meeting someone, having 30-minute conversation max, and then walking away.
Oh man, I came here to have a good time. I came here to put out all that I know of this book onto the internet for free, and here I am being attacked.
For the nonsense you pulled before we started recording. So, okay, here's the thing. I don't know how he got himself into this situation. Quill hears these tourists complaining one night, and he's just a tight-fist complaining dude who sounds awful, and his wife, who is just suffering, honestly, is kind of deaf and just turns her hearing aid off, which I bet that is how she's surviving this marriage, honestly. Hears them complaining one day, and he's like, okay, they're complaining a lot. Another night, goes out to dinner, runs into them, finds out that this cheap dude has rented the sketchiest sketch boat to go out fishing. And Quill goes, yeah, I want to be a part of that.
Yeah, it does seem rather impulsive that it's just like, hey, I heard you guys talking about a $5 fishing expedition.
Boat ride in the dangerous fog. That sounds like something I want to do. Do I like fishing? No.
Do I know how to fish? No.
Did I literally have to be talked into the concept of this industry even existing several pages ago? Yes.
But gosh darn it.
But I'm going with these two strangers to go meet other strangers on a sketchy boat in the fog. The fact he didn't get murdered, I'm just...
Well, that tends to happen to him more than once.
He's done impulsive stuff before, but I'm concerned for your safety, Impulsive.
Yeah, this is definitely a midlife crisis kind of book. He does a lot of impulsive things.
Yeah, maybe that is it.
Yeah, and I'm going to hold that thought until the end, because right at the end, he does something that's so stupid.
goes on this sketchy sketch thing. She turns off her hearing aid and reads, which the fog is thick. The fog is so thick. How are you reading? Why are you bringing a paperback book into the fog? It's moisture. Did you not die a little on the inside, librarian?
A little bit. Hopefully it wasn't a good book. Although it kept her attention for apparently several hours.
So she turns her hearing off and is reading. The other dude falls asleep. The only reason he's here is because her brother-in-law or whatever male cousin he has a measuring contest with right now. He got 2 fish, so I need to get 3 fish. Gets on the boat, falls asleep. This tightwad is complaining about everything, but he spends money to go on an excursion and then falls asleep. Divorce him.
And so while this is happening, the engine breaks down on this really sketchy ship.
And so these 2 kids, literally 2 teenagers, it's very obviously like young, does not own the boat. Maybe their parents did. Goes to fix the engine. Quill is the only one fishing at this point. He hears something in the fog. People arguing, and then a gunshot. And then 5-10 minutes later, he gets a huge fish on the other end of his line. But oh my gosh, it's actually a body. And the kids clip the line. The body falls back in the river, and then they go back to shore.
Not even the river. This is the Great Lake.
So Quill's like, what the heck just happened? But the entire town gaslights him like, oh, it was just a tire. And he's like, I know the difference between a tire and dead body. That was a dead body, but no one cares. The police doesn't care. The guy from the tourist whatever is like, no, it's whatever. But the only one that believes him is this police officer.
Yeah. And by the way, that man and his deaf wife never appear again.
Never come up ever again. They're technically should be interviewed by the police, but like I said, the police don't care. Quill never thinks to track them down, even though they talk in length about where they're staying. Nope.
Just gone. You are no longer needed in the story.
Goodbye. We hate you.
Even the author was like, I didn't enjoy writing you. Goodbye.
Ugh, get rid of you. Yeah, they never come up again. So, very suspicious. So, Quill's trying to track down the actual owner. The boat even gets renamed via paint from what it was to something else. Everyone's covering it up. It's very suspicious. No dead body, no dead body, no crime, blah, 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 blah. We're a great little no. He ends up talking to the police officer and he's like, I'm onto a huge lead about something nefarious going on. That's part of the book is figuring out what happened. It is a whodunit, but it's also a what-done-it.
What?
What did they do? What's going on? What did they die for?
There's nothing propelling the book at this point except suspicion and Quill's never even started book.
And paranoia and the cats.
Yep.
So I've introduced the concept of a how-done-it, where you know somebody did it, but you're not sure how they did it, which is also very good. And then, of course, a why-done-it. You know who it is, you know how they did it, but you don't have the motive. So, oh no, we can't do it because we don't have motive, which is not true, but it's pretty classic. This is a what done it. What is going on? Why is it going on is also a big part of it, but he doesn't even know what it is that is going on. He just knows something is suspicious and now there's a dead body. And the town won't talk about it. Oh no! So he finds this cassette tape that has chill music and whatever. There's one cassette tape that has Brahms on it and Coco can press the play button and that's how this becomes relevant. But he has this other one that's classic oldies for the 80s, which is kind of fun to think about. Like the classic oldies of the 80s, so I think it's like 50s music, 50s or 60s. And he finds a threatening message, like, you better do the thing at the time. Rawr.
Or else.
He's like, that's also suspicious. And so this entire book, Quill is trying to get people to talk to him. There's these random people in the town to be like, is it you? Did you leave this voice message? And of course he doesn't figure out who it is until the very end. I don't know, this isn't a very long book for explaining, because so much of it is, oh, I talked to this cute doctor because I got poison ivy, and talking with Rosemary, and taking her out, and hanging out with Tom because he thinks he's suspicious, but he's doing stuff, and walking around and talking to people, and hello, male person, and hello, person that has an antique store, and hello, person that owns food place. It's a lot of setup for the continuation of the series, I feel like.
Yeah, this would make a great point-and-click adventure.
Yeah, I could see it. Absolutely, I could see that. Oh, that actually sounds really cool. Anyway, my dreams aside, because if it's on Audible, no one's making a game, sadly. I'll make the game. I'll learn how to code. But
you might actually do it. Don't say that.
So basically what ends up happening, because I skipped so much of the book, this will be actually a pretty short episode. It's a short book. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I read it in about 3 to 4 hours. It wasn't that long at all.
Yeah, in comparison to the other books, right?
Right.
I feel like the other books had more substance, more characters, because this was just, I suspect, literally every character I have ever met in this county, because I don't know what's going on, versus the other ones where it had Arch, and you had Odd Bunsen, and all the other stuff, and then you meet a gang of characters in whatever field he's working in, and it's like, okay, all of you are suspects, but we have these other characters that aren't suspects.
Yeah, usually like the 3 to 4 people that he ends up living with in whatever apartment he's crammed into.
A little bit, yeah. So this one feels shorter, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely 4 to 5 pages shorter. A lot of the other ones are 250 something pages, and this one was barely over 240.
Very interesting. But come to find out, very convoluted. There's 2 things going on, because you also find out eventually that his aunt dies, which is very sad. I remembered her dying, but I thought it was in this book, but it took so long. I was like, oh, maybe it's in the next book. No, she dies.
Yeah, that really caught me by surprise. I was thinking like, oh man, this is going to be a book about the murder of that policeman.
Yeah.
And because he was murdered for trying to find out what was going on as well. He was talking to Quill and he said, I have my own theories. And to tell you this, I'll make it a little bit of an aside, is I really liked how she developed a lot of the clues in this book.
Yeah.
And he kind of does that TV show kind of thing where they lay out, here's why this happened. And you get to look back at the book and it's like, oh, I get it. And part of the clue is that despite Buck being a smoker, he doesn't care for the aroma of the tobacco that he's smoking. Quill has been complaining about like the dead fish that arrive on his little beach, and Buck is like, oh yeah, no, I don't mind them at all. They don't bother me. And Quill deduces from this that Buck has lost his sense of smell.
Yeah.
And that plays into a fact later.
Yeah, that is very true. He learns that he buries the fish because his wife can't stand the smell, and he's like, I barely notice it.
Yep.
So still very good on that.
Yep.
I think the mystery is still very good, although I would have liked a couple more clues so we don't have to get to the end and be like, let me explain.
Yep. I will say, as this is going on, there are 2 things that I think Braun really enjoys, and I think it's fortune tellers and having the cats hide things.
Yeah.
Because both times the fortune tellers have been completely right, and the other times the cats just steal things. And Quill has to go find them, and that reveals even more clues.
I mean, to be fair, though, that's very cat of them, as the owner of cats. And I do like, and I will continue to like, that the way the cats do stuff, you can't tell if they do have some sort of supernatural powers, or if they're just being normal cats. I always love that. That's a fun type. But what happened was there's this guy who owns a turkey farm who smells terrible because he works on a turkey farm.
And apparently that's not even the reason.
It's not. He just has BO, like a really bad BO that he just woke up with one day. He probably needed to go see a doctor about it, but didn't.
It's just never explained why this happened.
If you suddenly smell awful to the point where your wife does not want to live in the same house as you, go see a doctor.
Yeah, we're talking like clear the room after you walk in it kind of smell.
He walked into the post office and everyone left.
Including like retching outside. And this dude just does not care.
See a doctor. Something is severely wrong.
For all of you out there, this is your sign. Go see a doctor.
Go see a doctor.
Don't delay. Call today. Not us, a doctor. We can't help you.
Oh, here's some quick ones. This could stem from health conditions like diabetes, liver and kidney disease, massive hormonal shifts, infections, even sleep apnea, all of which require a doctor.
Yep. Oh, man. So, all along the way, items from his little cabin have been disappearing.
Yes.
And he thinks it was Tom who stole them, because Tom was going in and out and fixing things around his house.
Joke's on him. It's his cat.
Yep, his cat has been stealing his precious items.
And I do kind of love that instead of Coco, it's Yum Yum.
Yeah.
She feels a little neglected in the mystery solving business. So this time, instead of Coco eating the thing and throwing it up and then Quill finding it, Yum Yum steals things. She is a klepto.
Yum Yum always did kind of seem like a side character this whole book until that happened. And she is a side character, being a cat.
She is a ferret.
But it's nice that she gets her little spotlight.
Yes, we love it.
In the little hiding place beneath the couch, he finds a roll of dollar bills held together with a money clip, and a very specific money clip.
Yeah, only sold in one place. I mean, not really. I mean, you probably could buy it in other places, but it is kind of hinted at only bought in this one place that's currently out because Quill wants to buy one. So it actually points the finger at the guy from the tourist place because his wife sells them and Quill saw that he had one earlier. But it's not. It's her father-in-law. So before we talk about the solution, because that might take 10 minutes in and of itself, why don't we talk about the super rash thing that Quill did randomly?
Speaking of rash, he stepped into poison ivy earlier.
He did.
And flirted with the doctor to get it healed.
We did mention that, yes. But go ahead. I will let you do this because you seem far more passionate about it than I do. But yes, reading it, I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, all right. So he goes there being the turkey farm because he's figured it all out.
Most of the time, he'll confront the killer or whatever on purpose or not. The second to last chapter, right? Sometimes even the last chapter. This happened pretty early to the point where he walked into the turkey farm and I'm like, he's going to get it wrong. We have too much book left.
Yeah.
But no, other stuff happens after the mystery, which kind of cements the fact in my mind. This book isn't actually a mystery book. It's a please get to know everybody book. Thank you. But go ahead.
So he does not tell anybody where he's going. He does not tell anybody what he's doing. He takes all the evidence that could potentially incriminate or exonerate this person. This murderer, by the way, marches up into the turkey farm, goes to the front desk, looks this person in the eye, matches their voice to the voice on the Brahms tape recorder that was threatening somebody else, and says, I got you, you're the murderer, and he lays the evidence on the table. And then the murderer tries to kill him, as murderers tend to do.
Yeah, and Quill is like, oh no, I shouldn't have done. No, duh! You were a crime reporter, and now you've solved all of these murders, but you're just gonna walk in there, no backup, and go, you did it.
Yeah, and then he falls on his bad knee. And I'm like, okay, whatever, man.
Dude, you're so dumb. Why did you do this?
Who are you showing off for? Rosemary is gone, man.
There's another thing. He's like, shit doesn't get me. I'm so witty. And then he does stupid things like this, which just makes it feel like, no, you're not witty. You're intelligent. You're just pretentious. You learned 3 facts about Shakespeare, and now you're going to make that your whole personality.
Yeah, you're good at crosswords. You're not good at being a police officer.
The wisdom is missing.
Yeah, negative modifier on this guy.
Rosemary would never.
But the deus ex machina of Tom, with a James Bond-esque golden gun, saves his life.
Huzzah!
Tom's just like, yeah, you know, I thought you would be here, and I brought a gun just in case.
But isn't that kind of weird, knowing the solution of the aunt's murder?
Yeah, okay, so yeah, let's rewind a little bit. The aunt got murdered.
Yeah.
And she had dirt on everybody. She had this entire town on a shoestring.
Which explains a lot, because a lot of the times they're like, oh yeah, when she says jump, we go how high and stuff, and she has a lot of money, and she's funding a lot of things, and so you think it's kind of that, rich people get what they want? No, she has low-key blackmail, just in case, you know. Blackmail is a horrible industry to go into. Anyway, she had blackmail on everyone, and so that seems to be, oh no, she had dirt on a really specific person. Not really. Kinda.
Yeah.
The the murderer encourages Tom to murder her.
Tom, who this entire point we thought was a red herring because
Quill was too sure about it. Let's be honest. There's a line in one of the books where Arch knew about Quill's hunches, and they are either 100% correct or 100% off. And that is fact.
By the way, this may be the wrong time to talk about this, but ever since book 1, I don't think Mrs. Braun knows how mustaches work.
Oh?
No.
Oh, finally, we have a mustache connoisseur on the channel to speak about mustaches. Please continue.
Well, she's talking about he punches his mustache, and I'm like, what are you talking about?
He puts his knuckle against it. I've seen people do that.
She says knuckles plural.
Yeah.
No.
You don't use two?
That's like a cat licking its paw, which I thought was the point. It's such a weird motion for me to think about because when I do it, I'm trying to put my knuckles against my mustache and it just looks like I'm softly punching myself in the face. Or I'm trying to be cat-like.
Mustache is not on the level of Quillerin, obviously.
Well, he must have something like a German Kaiser, because, man.
I do think a lot that he has something like Hercule Poirot.
Another amazing mystery guy.
Another great mustache.
Yep, little gray cells. Love Poirot.
Do you not think that you are more attuned to the universe having a mustache?
I mean, I'm not going to argue against it. I just don't punch myself when I stroke it.
I love that that's what's got you hot and bothered. He's grooming it wrong!
It's just using your knuckles to comb your mustache just seems weird to me. I don't do it. I haven't seen anybody else do it.
Your mustache just isn't fabulous enough.
That's where your mind is going. It's like, oh, I guess you're the fault here. Not the woman who's never had a mustache in her life.
I thought this was going to be completely different.
No, this has been bothering me since book 1, and now it's out there.
Do you feel better?
No.
Oh my goodness. Well, anyway, a woman is murdered. I'm so glad you got your grievances out.
Hey, Tim, what do you want to talk about? Mustaches. Okay, we can do that and then the murderer.
So, okay, let's start from the beginning. So this dude that owns a turkey farm has been smuggling in drugs and alcohol to the local prison. Okay, using his turkey contract with the jail that he is the provider of turkeys, and he puts the alcohol inside the turkeys. Is the person he's working with work in the kitchen and always check the turkeys? Because, okay, if you take the turkeys from his pickup, his blue pickup, which if I ever hear anything about a blue pickup ever again, I swear to goodness, he takes it out of his truck, these turkeys that have contraband inside them, right? And I assume take them to the kitchen. Who is taking it out? It can't just be one person. It has to be like the entire cooking staff. Because how in the world are you going to explain, yeah, I'm prepping the turkey, don't mind this giant bottle of vodka or whatever.
I think they explained that the cops were on the take and the prison staff was on the take.
And it was a whole thing. Well, I don't think it was the cops on the take. I do think they were trying to figure it out, but they just weren't going to talk to an outsider about it.
Yep. And the other thing is, we talked earlier about Quill fishing up a body in the lake.
Yep.
That just happens.
Okay, so here's the thing. So that's part one of the scam, right? The second part of the scam involving the prisons, beside the alcohol or the drugs, is sometimes prisoners will escape from the jail, will purchase ferrying across the border to Canada, which has extradition laws, by the way, but it's the 80s, fair, it's easier to fall away. But my mind immediately went, so that saved you like a couple weeks, but they're gonna still find you, whatever. But they're supposed to go to the Canada border, but instead of actually delivering them to the other side of the lake, they shoot them. They murder them in the middle of the lake and just take their money. How is this business model working here?
How is this prison still operational after so many escapees?
How many prisoners do you have in this tiny county jail? You have more prisoners than you have population. There's 3 churches in this town, and that is it. Oh, My goodness. The entire population can fit in a high school gymnasium. How do you have more than like 30 prisoners? How much crime do you experience? Are you like a county jail from all of the counties around you? I have so many questions. How do you make enough money doing this?
This is not a sustainable business model.
None of this. I have so many questions about this. Whatever. So that's his part of this, and this is what Quill was doing. So the reason his cabin kept being used to do the cassette tapes was he was getting the supply of alcohol from Tom. Tom was just going out buying a bunch of alcohol on his employer's money. And this is also dumb because Tom is very obviously doing this to the point where the lawyers are concerned for the health of his aunt, thinking that she's an alcoholic now, or he's an alcoholic, and they're asking Quill to intervene. He's gonna get caught. Even if Quill wasn't there, he was gonna get caught. All of this is so stupid. Oh my gosh, all of this is stupid. Tom ended up killing the aunt because this dude promised to get him enough money to run a nightclub in Las Vegas. And that is enough provocation for this man to murder his employer who gave him a second chance after being in jail. It's almost sad in a way, and Tom ends up committing suicide because guess what? He didn't. He did not. He got caught.
Yep.
Sigh. And so this book ends up being sad. The last book was sad. Last book had a lot of sad things in it, but this one is just depressing in a completely separate way. So many things failed for this to happen, and it is sad. So that is what's going on. Quill's paranoia is paying off once again because he decided to go on the sketchiest boat trip. That's literally what kicked all of this off. Oh, goodness. Anyway, the reason there's several chapters after is come to find out, oh my gosh, she left all her money to Quillerin, but he has to stay in her mansion for 5 years or all of the money's gonna go to some place in Atlantic City.
And as we know, New Jersey cannot get a cent from the Midwest.
Not if they can help it.
He is actually threatened with being lynched. I am not kidding.
Yeah, they are more mad at the thought of him moving away. I mean, they give him a hard time about getting all the money because she literally promised all of these organizations and these charities and these people that she was going to give money to them. And she did write her will like that. And I'm just, what happened that she changed her mind? And she was going to give half of her fortune to different pickaxe things, and then decided, nope, all of it's going to Quillerin or Atlantic City. Screw everyone. I have questions.
Yeah, even Tom was like, yeah, she promised that I would get a heap of the fortune because she saw me like a son.
Yeah.
And then she actually decides to give it to her non-blood nephew that she hasn't seen in 40 years.
That she's been writing letters to for the past 6 months. By the way, she cross-hatches, which is just chaotic evil, where she writes on a piece of paper and then turns it sideways and writes over the thing she just wrote to continue the letter. This is a very rich woman. She is not needing to save on paper. This is not the Great Depression. What do you mean she writes in crosshatches? That is chaotic evil. Why? Anyway, so he spends chapters. Oh no, what am I gonna do? I have the dream job offer from the Daily Fluxion, and the Morning Rampage will pay me even more. Oh no, but I could stay here and be rich. So I'm gonna stay here and be rich.
Yeah, the book does not end with a decision.
Come on, we all know. Do you think if he was not going to choose being rich, he wouldn't have jumped at the chance to be an investigative reporter for the Fluxion with unlimited expenses, a company car that they're going to pay for, huge promotion, chances for publication and awards, and he can investigate anything he wants? Come on. This is Percy we're talking about. If he was even questioning that, you know he's just going to go for I'm going to be rich. Rolls eyes. Interestingly enough, one of the book publications, I don't know which iteration or I don't know what edition, has these little blurbs that explains what happens in the books. And I was reading them because I was like, oh my goodness, which beats are he's going to cover next? And one of them kind of lies and is like, he wins the lottery, which makes me wonder if that was originally the plot for this book. That instead of mooching off his aunt, he wins the lottery, and that's why he goes away from the city.
That would make sense.
But alas, no, that is not what happened. No lottery won. Well, I guess kind of in a way lottery won, but not through the lottery system. But yeah, that is the book. General thoughts. I gave this book a 4-star in the end. It's been 5 stars for me. You've given them all 4 stars, so meh. But this one was a 4-star for me. I like the structure of there's a new beat. He has to learn about it. Look at all these crazy people and how they're intertwined and figuring that out. I really liked that. I thought it was really interesting. I liked the fish out of water vibes of it, making Quill kind of an underdog, but not. And then I like the cast of characters. I like Odd Bunsen. I like Arch. I like even Percy. And then the Rosemary stuff was just awkward page filler in a lot of ways. I was happy that he finally had someone that was more age appropriate because I didn't like Cokie for a lot of reasons. Honestly, can we have Mary Duckworth come back? She was pretty great. The only reason he stopped dating her was because she went out of town and then he met Joy. Maybe one day, but I don't know. I haven't read all the books. But yeah, it's a change. I still really liked it, obviously, but I don't know. I like the beats better. And we'll see how I feel with the next book, because now they have established everything. So here's hoping. But yeah, that's my thoughts. More BO than I thought there would be.
General thoughts is I like the book, and I tend to give most any book that I enjoy 4 stars, because 3 stars kind of feels like it's exceedingly average, and 2 stars feels like a bit mean.
That means you don't like it.
Yeah, and so I did enjoy it. This was a lot faster of a read, and maybe because I was on a timer this time.
I mean, you were on a timer the entire time.
You can see on my Goodreads, I'm kind of ramping it up, where it goes from reading a book in 2 weeks to 1 week to 3 days to 12 hours.
Look at you.
And so I did enjoy it. I really am finally getting the hang of these mysteries, finding the clues before everything starts adding up, but there are still twists and turns that I don't see until the very end.
Look at you.
I'm definitely more of a Watson than a Holmes.
As long as you're not a Hastings, I won't hold it against you.
I was going to say I'm actually more like Hastings than Watson.
Out of here, go.
I use my little gray cells as much as possible. But overall, I did enjoy the book. I enjoyed the small town life kind of deals. I liked the difference between him being a tourist and feeling like a tourist amongst all these townies. And as for the romance, I did explain that before, where I actually did enjoy kind of this bittersweet ending of him and her realizing that they may like each other, but they're just pieces that don't connect, and it's better if they went their separate ways, even though they did enjoy each other's company. And so that wasn't as awkward for me as it might have been for other people.
Oh, it was excruciating.
But in the end, I enjoyed it. I still have to get used to them introducing the murderer at the very end of the book, because that's been something that Braun does more than once. And I'm waiting for it to be somebody that we know, and it's not always that.
It's true, especially when we're constantly moving around.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Thank you for enjoying it. One question for the author. I'm just really curious. Why move him to Pickaxe when she was leaving, specifically after she left Bad Axe? Was she just nostalgic for it? Or did she miss home and that was her way of coping with that? I'm just so curious. Why the switch? Why the change up?
I would ask, how true to life is this? I just go ahead and pop the question is, are the characters also, like, how true to life is this?
Oh, like, are there people you didn't like that you are now going to murder? That kind of question?
Yeah, like the old sea dog that was in that tourist shop. Did she meet a person like that and decide, hey, you're going to be in the book now, whether you like it or not?
That's so funny.
How based on is this based on?
We need to go on a road trip. Let's go. Bad Axe, Michigan.
There we go.
Get a pasty.
Welcome to the Real Life Podcast. We review actual cities.
So we just need to do part 2, going to Bad Axe and getting a pasty.
Yeah, there we go.
Rating: unexpected adventure out of 10. For all the good and the bad that comes with that. Was not expecting to go to the middle of nowhere without a newspaper beat to do all the things, but I'm not mad about it. If anything, that happened. That was the thing. I have mostly positive vibes for it. Couple of growing pains, but that's what you would expect.
I would give it week-long vacation cabin out of 10. And I actually have fond memories of doing exactly that, going out to the coast and renting a cabin with the folks, and even when it rains, you can just sit back and enjoy not being in the city with everything that you already know. So it being a cozy mystery and all that, it does its job well.
Read again. Yeah, I love this series. I'll read it for forever. This could be my least favorite book in the series, and I would still reread it because I love the series. This is pretty simple for me. How about you?
It's hard for me to say yes, because this being the 5th book in the series.
That you just binged.
Yeah, and the fact that I read all of them in the series so far, it's going to take me a while to forget most of the plot. And even then, I don't reread a lot of mysteries because I already know what it's going to be. And so the fun is kind of taken out of it for me.
Sometimes you can go back and you can find clues and things. And sometimes you just like the mystery so much, you just like, I'm just going to keep reading it. And the whole thing about it being a comfort read too, I think it's definitely a comfort read where I'm just like, I just need this right now. So that's pretty easy for me.
And maybe one of these days, one of my friends will hit me in the head and I'll forget a lot of the past few months and I'll be able to read it again.
Can confirm, as many times as I have read these books, I still forget things.
Oh, you want to know something? Something that I didn't mention is I enjoy some of the vocabulary that Braun uses.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I did not know the word cadaverous until today.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it's a beautiful word. I love it. I'm going to start using it in my writing.
Favorite of the series so far?
Let's see.
Because mine is The Cat Who Turned On and Off, which is the antiques one. I think the personalities are great. There's enough of the mystery where you can figure it out by yourself, but it doesn't make Quillen look like an idiot that he hasn't. I think all the characters are really good, and the way it progresses is really good. So that is my favorite. Although Cat Who Ate Danish Modern is a very close second.
I will say, I do enjoy The Cat Who Ate Danish Modern, and probably the second after that, if not equal, would be The Cat Who Saw Red.
So your favorite is Danish Modern?
Yep.
It's a good book.
I've never been so invested in interior design.
Now you will never call draperies drapes.
I got mad at a character who called them drapes, and I'm like, author, what are you doing? And then I realized, oh, this is in character. He doesn't know not to call draperies drapes.
Very invested.
Yeah.
I do like that book, because the things that happen, you're like, something's going to happen every single time that the story comes out, and it's pretty crazy, but it's a very good structure. It's very fun.
Yeah.
What? Have you read this book? What's your favorite vacation spot? Do you have any book recommendations for us? Tell us all about it in the comments below. If you liked the video, hit like. And if you're enjoying yourself, hit subscribe for more. Thank you for exploring The Cat Who Played Brahms with us. Join us next time when we'll be covering Death in the Clouds by Agatha Christie. I'm Sam Reiner.
And I'm Tim Bergman.
And we hope to see you and a friend here next time. Escape With Me Book Club is a Lunar Skulk production. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok to keep up to date with us. Lunar_SKULK.